Buddhism is an ancient spiritual tradition that began over 2,500 years ago in India. At its heart is the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, who achieved enlightenment and then shared his insights with others. Though Buddhism has spread across many cultures and countries, its core ideas remain focused on the pursuit of peace and understanding. One of the main teachings of Buddhism is that life is filled with suffering. This might sound gloomy at first, but it's actually seen as a step toward finding true happiness. The Buddha taught that much of this suffering comes from our attachments, things we hold on to tightly, whether they are people, possessions, or even harmful thoughts. When we cling to these attachments, they can create feelings of anxiety or stress. But by learning to let go, we can open ourselves up to a much more peaceful state of being. Understanding Buddhism starts with recognizing the Four Noble Truths. These truths outline the nature of suffering and how to overcome it. The first truth acknowledges that suffering exists in our lives, it's something everyone experiences at one time or another. The second truth reveals that the source of this suffering often lies in our cravings and desires. We want things to be different than they are, leading to disappointment and frustration. The third noble truth teaches that it is possible to end this suffering by letting go of those attachments. Finally, the fourth truth presents the Eightfold Path, a set of guidelines aimed at helping individuals attain enlightenment and freedom from suffering. This path emphasizes moral conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. In a world where we often equate happiness with having more friends, more stuff, more success, Buddhism offers a different perspective. It suggests that real peace comes not from acquiring but from letting go. Imagine holding a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Every rock represents an attachment or worry. If you can learn to set down that backpack, imagine how light and free you would feel. To understand this further, consider how modern life often leads us to be overly engaged with our devices and social media. We can become tied down by the constant need for validation or comparison with others. In contrast, Buddhism encourages us to step back and assess what truly matters in our lives beyond external measures of success. Central to Buddhism is also the concept of mindfulness, the practice of staying present and aware in each moment without getting lost in thought about past regrets or future worries. This mindfulness helps us recognize when we are becoming attached to something unhealthy and enables us to gently release those attachments before they weigh us down. Let's take a moment to think about how often we grip onto negative emotions like anger or sadness. Instead of processing these feelings, we may hold on to them out of habit or fear of change. Buddhism teaches that it's important to acknowledge these emotions, but we shouldn't let them define us. Through practices like meditation, we can learn to notice these feelings without judgment and choose to let go instead. Another essential idea in Buddhism is impermanence, the understanding that everything in life is constantly changing. Simple moments flow away like water through our fingers. This realization can help us adjust our perspective about efforting too hard to hold on to things that will eventually fade away anyway. As we delve deeper into understanding Buddhism's approach to letting go, it becomes clear that it's not just about denying our feelings or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It involves accepting life as it is while remaining open to change. This acceptance brings about a sense of peace, an assurance that no matter our circumstances today, there's always potential for growth tomorrow. Throughout history, many individuals have found relief by turning towards Buddhist teachings during difficult times. Their stories remind us that even amid chaos and struggle, whether it be personal issues or global challenges, individuals can find a path toward inner calmness through the practice of letting go. In conclusion, an introduction to Buddhism is both an invitation and a journey into understanding how we relate to ourselves and the world around us. Finding peace does not come from achieving external goals but emerges from within, a gentle reminder that it is entirely possible through simply learning how to release attachments that bind us tight. As we continue exploring this topic together, let's keep in mind the potential for restfulness when we allow ourselves some grace, transforming our lives by embracing all they have to offer while letting go of what doesn't serve us anymore. As we delve deeper into Buddhism, it's essential to explore the concept of attachment. Attachments are the emotional bonds we form with people, possessions, and even expectations that can lead to stress and suffering in our lives. While it's natural to feel connected to what we love, these attachments often become sources of pain when we cling too tightly to them. Think about relationships, for instance. We all cherish our friendships and family connections, and these bonds can bring immense joy. However, when we become overly dependent on others for our happiness, we risk experiencing anxiety and fear. What happens if a friend moves away or a loved one experiences a change in their feelings? The thought of losing those connections can lead to deep discomfort. By holding on too tightly to our relationships, we may inadvertently create stress for ourselves. Possessions are another significant area where attachments can develop. Many people find comfort in their belongings, whether it's that favorite toy from childhood, a car, or even technology like smartphones. These items can make us feel secure and happy. However, the more we identify ourselves by what we own, the more pressure we place on those objects. If something breaks or gets lost, it can feel as if a part of us is lost too. This attachment leads to worry and fear over losing material items that are ultimately fleeting. Expectations also play a crucial role in attachment. We often have ideas about how things should go in our lives, what job we should have, how our relationships should look, or even how we should feel at certain moments. These expectations can create rigid standards that are difficult to meet. When reality doesn't match our expectations, disappointment sets in. This feeling can lead to frustration and sadness. For instance, thinking you should always be happy or successful creates internal pressure that only makes it harder to enjoy life as it is. The Buddha emphasized that these attachments lead us into cycles of craving and dissatisfaction, a never-ending chase for something that might ultimately not bring the happiness we seek. When we hold on to our desires tightly, it clouds our ability to see things clearly and appreciate the present moment. Consider how an attachment can be like a tight grip on a rope. The harder you pull on that rope, whether it's from fear of losing something or desire for something more, the more tension builds. That tension creates stress, impacting your emotions and well-being. Learning to loosen your grip is essential for finding relief. One approach Buddhism offers is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It encourages us to recognize when we become attached to something harmful or unrealistic. For example, if you notice you're feeling anxious about a relationship, mindfulness allows you to examine why you feel that way without blaming yourself or your partner. Instead of getting swept away by emotions tied to your attachments, mindfulness gives you a chance to step back and reflect on what truly matters. Is it love and connection you seek with others? Or is it the fear of loneliness? By understanding this distinction, you can put less pressure on your attachments. Another important teaching is the idea of impermanence, the understanding that nothing lasts forever. Everything in life is constantly changing, moments come and go like waves on the shore. This realization helps us take a lighter approach toward our attachments because it reminds us that they aren't permanent fixtures in our lives. When you accept that relationships can change or possessions may fade away over time, you begin to appreciate them more fully while they last instead of clinging desperately to them out of fear of loss. You learn to treasure those moments without allowing them to define your happiness. Let's also think about how many people get attached to their own stories, the narratives they create around their lives based on past events or disappointments. These stories can weigh heavily on us and affect how we interact with the world today. For instance, if someone has faced rejection in the past and continues to carry that story forward, it might prevent them from forming new friendships or seeking new opportunities. Buddhism encourages individuals not just to release physical attachments but also emotional ones tied up in past experiences or future worries. When we let go of old narratives that no longer serve us, it opens space for new opportunities and connections. In conclusion, understanding attachment within Buddhism provides profound insights into why we experience suffering in our lives. By recognizing how attachments form in relationships, possessions, and expectations, we start to see pathways toward freedom from stress and disappointment. In learning about these attachments through mindfulness and acknowledging impermanence, we cultivate an ability to embrace life as it comes, enabling us to find rest amidst the chaos of everyday existence. As we continue exploring these concepts together, remember that letting go doesn't mean losing. Instead, it allows us the chance to experience life more fully without burdens weighing us down. As we explore the importance of letting go, it's vital to understand why this practice is a cornerstone of Buddhist teachings. Letting go isn't merely a suggestion but a necessary step for transcending suffering and achieving a more peaceful life. When we let go, we free ourselves from the burdens that our attachments create, allowing us to experience life with clarity and joy instead of anxiety and discomfort. One fundamental reason letting go is crucial in Buddhism is that it disrupts the cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. In everyday life, we often chase after what we want, believing that having more, a better job, a larger house, or even deeper relationships, will make us happy. The more we desire, the more we can become trapped in a loop of craving. With each new wish fulfilled, another desire arises, leaving us feeling incomplete. This ongoing pursuit leads to frustration and unhappiness. Therefore, learning to let go of these constant cravings can liberate us from this cycle. Imagine spending your life climbing an endless staircase. Each step represents a new desire you think will bring you happiness. Up you go, but when you look back down, you see that the stairs never end, new desires await just out of reach. By developing the ability to let go, you can step off that staircase and explore solid ground, allowing yourself to enjoy what is present rather than what always seems just beyond your grasp. Letting go also leads to greater emotional resilience. Holding on to past hurts or anger only amplifies our suffering and keeps us trapped in negativity. For instance, consider someone who has been wronged by a friend. Clinging on to that betrayal can lead to bitterness and resentment over time. However, when one learns to forgive and release that anger, through mindfulness practices or self-reflection, that individual doesn't just find peace in letting go, they experience emotional relief and freedom. They can then navigate future relationships without the shadows of past grievances influencing their feelings. In Buddhism, letting go is akin to releasing a tightly held balloon into the sky. If you clench that balloon tightly in your fist, it struggles against your grip, yet when you open your hand and let it float away, it sails freely into the sky. The act of letting go opens up new possibilities to experience peace and joy in ways you hadn't thought possible before. Moreover, letting go allows us to embrace impermanence fully. Everything in life changes, our emotions, relationships, health, and even the world around us. Instead of resisting this reality, accepting impermanence frees us from anxiety about loss and disappointment. Imagine attending a beautiful sunset. If you hold on to that moment tightly, fearing it will never come again, you'll not fully appreciate its beauty. However, when you understand that each sunset is unique and will never return exactly as it was before, you can relish it wholly moment to moment without fear. This acceptance extends also to letting go of certain expectations about ourselves and others. Many people grapple with rigid notions about who they should be or how others should behave, and those beliefs create tension in our lives. Suppose you've always viewed success as achieving a high-status job but find yourself happier teaching kids at a local school instead. Embracing this shift without judgment allows your joy to flourish without the unnecessary pressure of previous self-expectations. By practicing letting go, we rediscover genuine contentment, the kind not tied to circumstances or opinions but rooted in our personal experiences and acceptance of reality as it unfolds. This sense of calm provides fertile ground for deeper insights and connection to oneself and others. Lastly, understanding the spiritual significance behind letting go enhances its importance even further in Buddhism. When individuals learn not only how to physically release their attachments but spiritually engage with letting go as a pathway towards enlightenment, they ultimately replace suffering with wisdom. This wisdom fosters compassion toward oneself while building significant connections with others. This compassionate approach creates ripple effects that lead toward collective peacefulness in communities. As we continue this journey towards incorporating the practice of letting go into our lives, keep in mind that it's both simple yet profound, a transformative process that opens your heart and mind while lightening life's burden significantly. In conclusion, letting go is essential for peace and tranquility as taught by Buddhism. It interrupts cycles of desire and dissatisfaction while offering emotional resilience against past pain. This practice encourages an appreciation for impermanence. It allows individuals to embrace every moment fully and accept themselves without expectations. Most importantly, connecting deeply with this practice brings not only personal healing but encourages compassion towards others, as we learn surrender can lead towards collective joy shared among all beings around us. As we continue exploring the journey toward peace and letting go, we cannot overlook the practice of mindfulness, which serves as a powerful tool in Buddhism. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our thoughts and feelings without falling into the trap of judgment or overreaction. It encourages us to engage with our experiences fully, fostering a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. At its core, mindfulness is about being present in each moment. In our busy lives, it's easy to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets from the past. We often rush through daily activities without really paying attention to what we're doing or how we're feeling. Mindfulness invites us to slow down and notice each thought, emotion, or sensation as it arises. Imagine sitting outside on a sunny day. Instead of rushing to complete your tasks, you pause to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, hear the rustle of leaves in the wind, and truly appreciate that moment. One key aspect of mindfulness is noticing thoughts as they come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. Instead of getting entangled in those thoughts, whether they are worries about work or fears about relationships, we learn to observe them without attaching ourselves. This practice creates emotional distance from our thoughts and enables us to respond more thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. For instance, suppose you're feeling anxious about an upcoming presentation at school or work. Mindfulness allows you to sit quietly for a few moments, breathe deeply, and acknowledge that anxiety without judging yourself for feeling that way. By recognizing that anxiety is just a temporary feeling, not a reflection of your worth, you create space for other emotions like confidence or excitement to emerge. In Buddhism, mindfulness can also be practiced through meditation. Many people envision meditation as sitting cross-legged with closed eyes in silence for long periods. That's one way to do it. However, mindfulness meditation can take different forms. Walking meditation or simply focusing on your breath can be just as effective. The important thing is that these practices help anchor you in the present moment. Imagine you are walking slowly through a park. Instead of rushing ahead with your mind elsewhere, you pay attention to each step. Feel your foot touch the ground, notice how your body moves with every stride while taking in the sights and sounds around you. This focused awareness shifts your attention away from distractions and stresses surrounding you. Mindfulness also fosters compassion, not only towards others but also toward ourselves. Often, we can be our harshest critics when we make mistakes or feel weak. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding instead of harsh judgment. For example, if you slip up during a conversation or miscalculate something at work, instead of berating yourself internally, mindfulness allows you to acknowledge that you're human and everyone makes mistakes. Furthermore, engaging in this practice daily helps cultivate resilience over time. It builds mental strength by teaching us not only how to handle difficult emotions but how to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. We begin seeing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Another important aspect of mindfulness is its connection to acceptance, the willingness to embrace current circumstances without striving for perfection or wishing things were different. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. Rather, it allows us room for growth by acknowledging where we're at right now while remaining open-hearted towards change. As we hone our ability to practice mindfulness regularly, whether through meditation or simply being more aware during daily activities, we can start recognizing patterns in our thoughts and attachments more clearly over time. This growing awareness plays an essential role in letting go. It teaches us what truly matters amid distractions. In essence, incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives offers tools for navigating emotions associated with attachment. Letting go becomes more accessible when we've developed clarity through observation rather than reaction. Imagine trying on a new outfit. At first glance, it might seem unflattering until you catch your reflection differently after breaking down what styles suit you best. The same principle applies here. To summarize this exploration into mindfulness's role within Buddhism, it serves as an invaluable means for realizing inner peace through self-awareness while confronting life authentically without judgment clouding perceptions along the way. As we all embark together on this road toward greater understanding around letting go through mindfulness practices, remember how transformative those small moments spent simply noticing can be. With consistent effort rooted in compassion toward ourselves and others alike, a genuine sense of rest awaits us just beyond these busy days filled with longing. So let's take these teachings into our hearts as we progress further together on this remarkable journey toward finding rest amidst life's beautiful chaos. As we delve into practical techniques for letting go, it's helpful to draw from Buddhist practices that have been used for centuries to release attachments and foster inner peace. These techniques are simple yet effective, allowing individuals to find relief and freedom from the burdens that arise from clinging too tightly to thoughts, emotions, or material possessions. One foundational practice is meditation, which serves as an excellent tool for cultivating a sense of calm and clarity. While there are many forms of meditation, a basic mindfulness meditation can be an effective starting point. To begin, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, either on a cushion or a chair, with your back straight but relaxed. Close your eyes gently and take a few deep breaths, letting your body settle into the moment. As you breathe in and out, observe your breath without trying to change it. Simply notice how it feels as air enters your lungs and flows out again. If your mind starts to wander, which is entirely normal, gently acknowledge those thoughts and bring your focus back to your breath. This practice helps you develop awareness of your thoughts as they come and go, allowing you to recognize and let go of attachments more easily. Another technique involves visualization. In this practice, you can imagine a balloon representing the things you want to let go of. As you breathe in deeply, picture yourself gathering all your worries, fears, or attachments into that balloon. When you breathe out, visualize releasing the balloon into the sky, watching it float away. This exercise can create a powerful sense of relief and freedom, reinforcing the idea that you can let go of what no longer serves you. Breathing exercises can also be instrumental in helping you let go. One effective method is the 4-7-8 technique. Begin by sitting comfortably. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, holding your breath for a count of 7, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. The rhythm of this breathing pattern slows your heart rate and calms your mind, making it easier to release tension and attachments. Repeat this cycle 4 times or until you feel more centered. Gratitude practices are another helpful technique that shifts your focus from what you lack to what you appreciate in life. Each day, take a moment to list 3 things you're grateful for, whether it's a supportive friend, a cozy home, or even something as simple as the warmth of sunlight on your skin. Cultivating gratitude helps ease feelings of attachment by reminding us that joy can be found in what we already have. In addition to these techniques, incorporating mindful movements into your routine can help you release attachments physically and emotionally. Practices like yoga or Tai Chi combine physical movement with breath awareness and mindfulness. As you flow through each posture, allow yourself to connect with your body, noticing any areas of tension or discomfort. With each exhale, imagine releasing any attachments or stress stored within those areas. Another powerful technique is journaling. Taking time to write down your thoughts and feelings can create a safe space for reflection. When you're feeling overwhelmed by attachments, whether they're related to relationships, possessions, or expectations, write them down on paper without holding back. Be honest with yourself about how these attachments affect your well-being. Once you've expressed those feelings, consider ways to let them go or shift your perspective on them. Reading back over what you've written can also provide valuable insights into patterns you may wish to change. Community involvement is another way to practice letting go. When we help others, we often shift our focus away from our personal struggles and realize the interconnectedness we share with others. Volunteer work or simply offering support to friends or family nurtures empathy and helps us understand that everyone deals with challenges and attachments in various forms. Lastly, it's essential to remember that letting go is a process. It may not happen overnight. Be patient with yourself as you explore these techniques. Some days may feel easier than others. Embrace the journey toward release as it unfolds in its time. Allow yourself grace and compassion as you navigate this path. In conclusion, utilizing various techniques from Buddhist practices, such as meditation, visualization, breathing exercises, gratitude practices, mindful movements, journaling, and community involvement, can significantly aid in the process of letting go. By engaging with these tools regularly, you foster greater awareness of your attachments while cultivating an inner sense of peace and resilience. As you continue to explore these methods on your journey toward finding rest amidst life's chaos, remember that each small step leads you closer to the lightness and freedom that come from releasing what no longer serves you. Embrace the practice wholeheartedly as it unveils new pathways toward serenity and joy in daily living. As we delve into the role of meditation in the context of letting go, it becomes clear that this practice is invaluable for calming the mind and creating space for deeper self-awareness. Meditation provides individuals with a unique opportunity to observe their thoughts and feelings, enabling them to discern which emotions and attachments are beneficial and which may no longer serve them. At its core, meditation involves quieting the mind and focusing on the present moment. This practice does not require elaborate rituals or specific settings. It can be as simple as finding a comfortable spot to sit and dedicating a few moments to breathe and reflect. Through meditation, we cultivate a sense of stillness that allows us to step back from the hustle and bustle of daily life and witness our internal landscape without interference. When we meditate, we are not looking to eliminate our thoughts, rather, we aim to observe them. Imagine sitting calmly, breathing in and out, while thoughts flit by like leaves floating downstream. Some may be joyful, while others could stir up anxiety. Instead of getting caught up in these thoughts or reacting to them, meditation teaches us to acknowledge their presence and let them drift away. This process helps create emotional distance, allowing us to see our feelings with clarity rather than through the lens of judgment or fear. For instance, let's say you find yourself ruminating on past mistakes during meditation. Instead of engaging with these thoughts and compounding your regret, gently remind yourself that these thoughts do not define you or your worth. With each breath, imagine each regret fading away like mist dissolving under the morning sun. Through this process, meditation empowers you to release what no longer serves you. One significant benefit of meditation is its ability to reduce stress and anxiety. When people experience overwhelming feelings, they often cling to those emotions tightly, fearing that letting go will mean losing a part of themselves. However, meditation reassures us that we can acknowledge our emotions without holding on to them. By regularly practicing meditation, you will start to notice how your stress levels decrease over time. You transition from feeling consumed by your emotions to observing them with curiosity and kindness. In addition to managing stress, meditation encourages us to embrace impermanence more fully. Life is in constant flux, our feelings today may not be the same tomorrow. By meditating on this concept, you begin to understand that nothing is truly permanent, that includes both positive experiences and negative feelings. Such realizations reinforce the idea that clinging to any single thought or emotion can lead to suffering. Meditation can also enhance your capacity for compassion, both toward yourself and others. As you cultivate mindfulness through meditation, you develop a gentler attitude toward your own flaws and mistakes. You learn that everyone experiences ups and downs in life, and this understanding naturally extends to those around you. You begin to approach relationships with empathy because you're more aware of your own struggles. A simple loving-kindness meditation, for example, can deepen this sense of compassion. In this practice, you focus on sending kind thoughts first to yourself and later extending those sentiments toward others in your life, friends, family members, even acquaintances or strangers. By fostering feelings of love and compassion through meditation, you create an inner space where letting go becomes more accessible, not only of personal grievances but also of judgments about others. Moreover, as you continue meditating regularly, you'll strengthen your ability to remain present in difficult situations. Instead of reacting impulsively when faced with conflict or challenge, meditation equips you with the tools needed to respond thoughtfully. You learn that taking a moment to center yourself before reacting can lead to healthier resolutions instead of escalating tensions. Another impactful aspect of meditation is its capacity to help us recognize patterns in our thoughts and behaviors, specifically those linked to attachment. When we meditate consistently, we become more attuned to recurring themes in our minds, whether they're fears about failure or desires for approval. With this awareness comes the power to address these patterns constructively rather than allowing them to dictate our lives. Ultimately, meditation is about building a compassionate relationship with yourself, a means through which you can explore your inner world freely without harsh judgment. This self-awareness paves the way for genuine letting go. When you understand what holds significance in your life versus what does not, releasing attachments feels less daunting. As we conclude our exploration of meditation's role in letting go, remember that cultivating this practice takes time and dedication. Just as one does not become fit overnight through exercise, nurturing a meditative practice requires patience and consistency. Trust that with each session, however long or short, you are moving closer toward greater peace and restfulness. Meditation holds the keys to unlocking a calmer mind and freeing yourself from attachments that no longer serve you. Embrace this journey fully, allow it to guide you toward a life filled with serenity, a life where release opens the door for new beginnings and deeper connections with yourself and the world around you. As we explore stories of transformation, the power of letting go through Buddhist practices comes to life in deeply inspiring ways. Individuals from various backgrounds have embraced these teachings and have found profound peace and rest by releasing their attachments. These stories remind us that change is possible and highlight the beauty of human resilience. One powerful story is that of Anna, a young woman who struggled with anxiety stemming from her attachment to perfectionism. For years, she felt a constant pressure to excel in every aspect of her life, whether it was academics, work, or relationships. This relentless drive left her exhausted and unhappy, often leading to panic attacks that disrupted her everyday life. After discovering Buddhist teachings on mindfulness, she decided to attend a local meditation group. Initially hesitant, Anna learned to sit in silence, noticing the urge to judge herself harshly for not achieving enough. Through regular practice, she began observing her thoughts without attaching significance to them. She discovered that her worth was not defined by outcomes, rather, it lay in her ability to be present and compassionate toward herself. Over time, she shifted her perspective from striving for perfection to embracing imperfection as part of being human. As a result, Anna's anxiety diminished significantly, making room for joy and acceptance in her life. Another remarkable example is David, a man in his 50s who had been grappling with his attachment to material possessions. David spent most of his adult life accumulating things, larger homes, newer cars, and the latest gadgets, believing they would bring him happiness. However, as he approached retirement, he felt an emptiness that material wealth could never fulfill. Seeking clarity and purpose, David turned to a Buddhist retreat. During the retreat, he participated in decluttering exercises that forced him to confront his attachment to physical belongings. At first, letting go of items felt daunting, he associated them with memories and status. However, guided by mindfulness practices taught during the retreat, David began recognizing how these possessions burdened him rather than enriched his life. Each item he released became an act of liberation rather than loss. Gradually embracing minimalism changed David's perspective on what truly matters. He found joy in experiences rather than things, spending more time with loved ones, exploring nature, and giving back through community service. With each passing day post-retreat, he felt lighter and more connected to himself and others. Then there's Maya's story, a mother who felt overwhelmed by guilt after her children moved out for college. Tied down by emotional attachments linked to their presence at home and fearing loneliness, she was stuck in a cycle of sadness. Feeling lost without the day-to-day routine of parenting left Maya feeling like she had no purpose. After attending a local Buddhist meditation class focused on loving-kindness practices, Maya discovered a new way to express love toward her children even when they were miles away. By sending kind thoughts during her meditations, imagining their futures filled with happiness and success, she learned that love transcends physical proximity. Over time, Maya cultivated deeper connections with herself and rekindled forgotten passions like painting and hiking. Instead of wallowing in feelings of loss related to her children moving away, she embraced each moment as an opportunity for growth, not only for them but for herself as well. Thus began a joyful chapter where she became more independent while supporting her children from afar. Another transformative account comes from Rajan, a businessman who was deeply attached to financial success but found himself stressed out at work, constantly chasing targets and recognition. The pressure led him down a path of burnout where he lost sight of his relationships and health. Desperate for change after a health scare prompted self-reflection, Rajan sought help through Buddhist teachings. He initiated daily meditation sessions focusing on breathing exercises that calmed his racing mind, the first step toward rediscovering balance in his life. Through mindful awareness practices like gratitude journaling detailing small daily joys, a warm cup of tea or laughter shared, Rajan noticed how excessive ambition often clouded the beauty around him. Gradually understanding that true success is about balance rather than relentless pursuit allowed Rajan to realign priorities in both work and personal life. He transformed his approach at work into one emphasizing teamwork rather than competition, seeing his colleagues not merely as rivals but partners contributing to collective goals. These stories showcase the diverse ways people can transform their lives by letting go through Buddhist practices. Whether it's freeing oneself from perfectionism like Anna or emotional attachments tied up with parenthood like Maya, the journey leads individuals toward profound self-discovery and liberation. As we reflect upon these narratives celebrating resilience amidst struggle, we realize that the process doesn't happen overnight, it requires dedication and patience along the way. The wisdom shared by those who have walked this path illuminates our own potential for growth if we're willing to embrace change fully. Letting go allows space for new beginnings filled with excitement, reminding us all that rest isn't just elusive comfort, it's achievable through compassionately releasing what no longer serves us. May we be inspired by these stories as we continue our journey toward finding peace within ourselves amidst this ever-changing world. As we explore the challenges faced when trying to let go, it becomes clear that this process can be filled with obstacles that test our resolve and patience. While the teachings of Buddhism provide powerful tools for letting go, many individuals find it difficult to apply these concepts in their everyday lives. Understanding these challenges is essential for overcoming them and finding true peace. One common challenge is fear of change. Letting go often means stepping into the unknown, which can be intimidating. People may cling to familiar situations or relationships out of fear that they will lose something important if they let go. For instance, someone might stay in a job they dislike because it feels secure, even though they yearn for a more fulfilling path. This fear can trap us in cycles of dissatisfaction and prevent us from exploring new opportunities. To overcome this fear, it's helpful to remember that change is a natural part of life and often leads to growth. Practicing mindfulness can help ease anxiety about the unknown. By staying present and focusing on the current moment rather than worrying about future outcomes, we can cultivate a sense of calmness that allows us to embrace change more readily. Visualization techniques can also be effective. Imagining yourself taking positive steps toward change can reduce fears and build confidence. Another obstacle is attachment to identity. Many people define themselves by their roles, be it a parent, a professional, or a friend, and letting go can feel like losing a part of who they are. For example, a mother may struggle with feelings of guilt when her children leave home, worrying about her identity without the daily responsibilities of parenting. This attachment can create resistance to accepting changes in life and lead to feelings of emptiness. To navigate this challenge, it's essential to cultivate self-awareness and understand that our identity goes beyond any single role we play. Engaging in self-reflection through journaling or meditation can help identify core values and interests outside those roles. By exploring personal passions and strengths independent of external labels, individuals may begin to redefine their identities in ways that embrace growth rather than limit it. Emotional pain is another hurdle that often surfaces when letting go. We may cling to past hurts or regrets as a way of protecting ourselves from future disappointment. This emotional attachment can manifest as bitterness or resentment toward others or ourselves for perceived failures. It's crucial to acknowledge these feelings without judgment. Suppressing them only prolongs suffering. One way to move through emotional pain is by practicing forgiveness, both toward ourselves and others. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful actions, rather, it allows us to release the heavy burdens associated with anger and regret. Engaging in loving-kindness meditation helps foster compassion during this process. By extending kind thoughts toward those who have caused us pain, we gradually soften our hearts and free ourselves from holding on to negativity. A significant challenge in letting go is the belief that we must do it alone. Isolation amplifies feelings of sadness and confusion around releases. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when carrying these burdens by yourself without sharing your experiences with anyone else. Support from friends, family, or community members is invaluable. Joining a meditation group or support circle where people share their struggles creates an environment where individuals feel understood and heard, an essential step toward healing. When we connect with others navigating similar challenges, we remind ourselves that we are not alone on this journey. Lastly, impatience can undermine our efforts to let go effectively. The process often requires time. Feeling frustrated when changes don't happen immediately may lead us back into old patterns of attachment. Cultivating patience involves trusting in the journey rather than rushing toward an endpoint. To support this mindset, practice gratitude regularly, acknowledge small victories along the way instead of fixating solely on long-term goals. Each step forward counts. Acknowledging progress fosters a sense of accomplishment and reinforces the understanding that letting go is an ongoing journey rather than a destination. In conclusion, letting go presents various challenges: fear of change, attachment to identity, emotional pain, isolation, and impatience are just some obstacles individuals face throughout this transformative process. However, facing these obstacles with patience and understanding allows for deeper learning along the way. By applying tools such as mindfulness practices, self-reflection through journaling or meditation, forgiveness techniques rooted in compassion for oneself and others, seeking social support networks during tough moments, cultivating patience through gratitude, individuals equip themselves with powerful resources needed for navigating the complexities inherent within letting go. As you embark on your own journey towards release amidst life's challenges, remember that growth comes over time. Trust yourself as you continue embracing opportunities found through each moment spent working towards peace within. May you find strength in knowing that every step taken toward letting go leads you closer to achieving restfulness amidst life's beautiful ebb and flow. Finding inner peace is one of the most rewarding outcomes of letting go of attachments, and it comes with a multitude of positive feelings and benefits. As individuals embrace the practice of release, they often experience reduced anxiety, increased happiness, and a deeper sense of contentment. These transformations significantly enhance their overall quality of life and emotional well-being. One key benefit of letting go is the reduction in anxiety. When we hold on to attachments, be they relationships, material possessions, or unfulfilled expectations, we often create unnecessary mental clutter that can lead to heightened stress levels. Consider someone who constantly worries about what others think of them or feels burdened by past mistakes. This mental weight can be exhausting. By learning to let go, individuals find freedom from these cycles of worry. For example, imagine Sarah, a college student who originally felt immense pressure to achieve perfect grades. The stress associated with maintaining that perfection led to sleepless nights and anxious thoughts about disappointing her family and herself. After attending a mindfulness workshop focused on letting go, she began to recognize that her self-worth wasn't determined solely by her grades. As she learned to accept her imperfections and focus on her journey rather than results, Sarah experienced a notable decrease in her anxiety levels. She could breathe easier and face each day with renewed clarity and calmness. Beyond reducing anxiety, letting go allows individuals to unlock greater happiness. When we release attachments that weigh us down, it creates space for new opportunities and experiences to flow into our lives. This newfound lightness inspires joy and gratitude for what we do have rather than dissatisfaction over what may be lacking. Take the story of Michael, a man who had spent years clinging to unhappiness in his job because he feared stepping out of his comfort zone. Once he embraced the idea of letting go of that fear and began exploring different career paths, he experienced an unforeseen sense of excitement and fulfillment. Each small step he took toward pursuing passion projects fueled his happiness. Leaving behind what no longer served him allowed him not just to find better job opportunities but also brought rejuvenating relationships with coworkers who shared similar aspirations. Contentment is yet another profound feeling that arises from the process of letting go. Many people search tirelessly for contentment through external means, possessions, relationships, or achievements, believing that happiness lies in these things. However, true contentment comes from within. It emerges when we release the need for validation from outside sources. Consider Emma, who always sought affirmation from friends for her decisions. She noticed a cycle where her self-esteem fluctuated based on others' opinions, leading her to question herself repeatedly. Through meditation focused on self-discovery, Emma began realizing that validation starts with how she views herself. By letting go of the need for constant reassurance and practicing self-love, she cultivates a profound sense of inner peace over time. These affirmations turned inward transformed her perception, leading to deeper satisfaction in her choices and interactions. Moreover, embracing impermanence plays a crucial role in cultivating inner peace through letting go. Life's natural ebb and flow teach us that change is inevitable. Instead of resisting it, acceptance fosters resilience and promotes joy in our experiences. The understanding that both ups and downs are transient helps people savor moments of happiness without clinging too tightly while emerging stronger after hardships. Individuals may also find a stronger connection to their spiritual selves during this transformative phase. Letting go allows for a clearer understanding of one's values and purpose in life. As people acknowledge attachments quietly rooted within them, be they material desires or limiting beliefs, they begin aligning themselves more authentically with their true selves. As self-awareness grows through practices like mindfulness meditation and journaling, individuals learn to recognize patterns that no longer serve them. This clarity allows for informed choices based on authenticity rather than fear or societal pressures. The journey toward finding inner peace does not imply shedding all emotions or desires, it simply invites individuals to cultivate healthier perspectives around them. Letting go empowers us with tools for navigating life's challenges more gracefully while appreciating its beauty along the way. In essence, letting go opens doors to reduced anxiety, improved happiness, and deep-rooted contentment, the hallmarks of inner peace. Embracing this journey encourages openness toward possibilities rather than being weighed down by fears or disappointments. As you reflect upon your own path toward release amidst the complexities life presents, remember that each step taken toward letting go guides you closer toward cultivating serenity within yourself. May you experience all the wonderful feelings and benefits that arise when you allow space for restfulness amid life's constant changes. As we conclude our exploration of the Buddhist trick to letting go, it's essential to reflect on the main points discussed throughout this journey. Buddhism teaches us that attachments, whether they are to people, possessions, or expectations, can lead to suffering. However, by letting go of these attachments, we can find true peace and freedom in our lives. Throughout this discussion, we have seen how embracing impermanence and practicing mindfulness can transform our experiences and lead us toward a more fulfilling existence. We started by understanding the concept of attachment and how it manifests in our lives. Our emotional bonds can provide comfort, yet they can also become burdensome when we cling too tightly. Recognizing this is the first step toward liberation. By acknowledging our attachments, we can begin the process of letting go and embracing the uncertainty that comes with change. The practice of mindfulness plays a crucial role in this journey. By becoming aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we learn to navigate our emotions effectively. Mindfulness allows us to observe our attachments and see how they influence our well-being. This self-awareness creates a foundation for letting go, as we can discern which aspects of our lives genuinely serve us and which do not. We also explored various practical techniques from Buddhist practices that support this transformative process. Meditation, visualization, breathing exercises, gratitude practices, mindful movements, and journaling are all valuable tools for cultivating awareness and fostering inner peace. Each technique offers unique benefits that can help individuals develop resilience and emotional clarity. The inspiring stories of individuals like Anna, David, Maya, and Rajan highlighted the power of these practices in transforming lives. Their journeys illustrate that letting go is not always easy but is profoundly rewarding. Each story teaches us that embracing change often leads to personal growth, deeper relationships, and newfound happiness. As we acknowledge the challenges of letting go, such as fear of change, attachment to identity, emotional pain, isolation, and impatience, we recognize the importance of facing these obstacles with patience and understanding. Navigating this journey requires compassion for ourselves as we learn to release what no longer serves us. Techniques like self-reflection, seeking support from others, and practicing forgiveness empower us to move forward. Ultimately, letting go opens doors to reduced anxiety, improved happiness, and a deeper sense of contentment. As we free ourselves from mental clutter and limiting beliefs, we allow space for joy and peace to flourish. The journey toward inner peace is ongoing, it requires dedication and effort but promises profound rewards. Now, as you reflect on your own experiences and challenges related to attachment, I encourage you to explore these practices in your life. Consider integrating mindfulness techniques into your daily routine, whether through meditation sessions or simple moments of gratitude throughout the day. Each small effort contributes to a larger transformation over time. It's important to remember that finding inner peace is not about perfection, it's about progress. Allow yourself grace as you navigate this path toward release. Celebrate each step you take towards letting go and remain open to the possibilities that arise from embracing change. In closing, may you find strength in knowing that every moment spent exploring these teachings brings you closer to a life filled with serenity and joy. Embrace the journey ahead with an open heart, trusting that letting go will lead you toward greater peace and rest amidst life's ever-changing landscape. Let this be a reminder that true liberation lies within your willingness to release what no longer serves you. The path to inner peace is yours to walk.